Remember this site from back in 2022. That's the summer that Lake Mead levels plummeted to historic lows, 1,040 feet. They revealed a body in a barrel and abandoned boats like this iconic image, fully exposed. After some recovery, the lake has plummeted once again to similar lows, 1,044 feet, revealing even more hazards right below the surface.
If you're not paying attention, boaters or swimmers could collide with these new dangers, like rock.
In about a month, Lake Mead might see its lowest level since the nation's largest reservoir, was filled back in the 1930s. And it might stay that way for quite some time.
Yeah, I'm concerned about it. But what can I do?
There is no solution in the Upper Basin that's going to solve the Powell and Mead problem.
Negotiations are not going well.
They have said the talks are difficult.
All of the rhetoric, the saber rattling, and other distractions going on right now are bull. It needs to stop.
As you can see, just a whole bunch of chaos going on right now with this drought situation. Let's run out to Lake Mead. I'll meet you guys out there. We'll get this video started. Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Joey again, out at Lake Mead with another Lake Mead water report and shoreline update on this wild and windy morning. It's about 7:30 in the morning right now. I had to get out here early this morning because we are under a tremendous heat wave, and I'm pretty sure that you guys are experiencing something like this wherever you're at. And there's just no way if I got out here any later that I could sustain the heat, because we are now in the triple teens. I wanted to get out here today and have a look around and check out what the situation is. As you guys can see behind me here, we're getting all staged up here with all this new infrastructure to extend the ramp. All these trucks that you see here are boats that are launched out into the lake. And this is at 7:30 in the morning. But we're gonna have a look around. I'm gonna give you a little situation report with what the local news and the water authority has been reporting. And guys, this water has dropped since March. We started off this journey of reporting on this water situation since March. It was the height of the year, which was 1,068 feet. And today, guys, we've dropped below the low threshold. And I'm gonna give you the water report update. We're gonna step on down here to the launch ramps, take a look at what the water situation is. Right now, we have a perfect storm of situations that are going on out here at Lake Mead that's exacerbating the drought this year. We're about to hit that historic drought number of 1,040, and we are hovering right above that right now. And there's three things. First of all, we have a super El Nino system generating, like a storm of the century El Nino that's generating out in the Pacific right now, which is blowing up the heat index across all of America. I'm not sure where you guys are located, but I know that if you're in the United States, you are probably feeling some of the hottest heat that you've ever experienced in decades. It's actually coming, or if it's not there right now, it's definitely coming. Number two, we have had a horrible snowpack last year. We depend on a good snowpack in the Rockies to bring water down through the Colorado to fill up this reservoir, which we did not get. And number three, that super hot heat has hovered right above the Rockies right now. I believe that Colorado is in a state of emergency in severe drought. That entire state is under a severe drought index over there, and that's what, no more rain. So if we're not getting any snowpack and they're not getting any rain, where are we getting water from? There is no more water, or very little water, flowing through the Rockies to get down to us. And right now there's a super fight between the situation up at Glen Canyon at Lake Powell, because you know, we're sitting on two of the largest reservoirs out here at Lake Mead, and in Glen Canyon. Lake Powell, Lake Mead are two of the largest reservoirs in America, and both of these reservoirs are about 0.25% of their capacity. I believe Lake Powell's at 23%, and out here at Lake Mead we're at 28%. So neither of these guys here are very, very healthy, and the biggest problem that they're talking about right now is what to do. The Upper Water Authority has been discussing, and they've been taking polls as to should they allow more water to come down to Lake Mead. Only 5% of the people like that. Some of them actually are more on board with sending all the water to fill up Lake Mead first. And the majority of them just say, no, we want to fill up Lake Powell first. But anyways, here's a little bit of a news clipping to show what the local news is reporting on the mindset of the Water Authority on this situation concerning these reservoirs.
Here's Lake Mead, the reservoir that sits on the border of Nevada and Arizona. It's filled by Colorado River water and is held in place by the Hoover Dam. It supplies the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, with 90% of its water.
Yeah, I'm concerned about it. But what can I do?
Locals like James Wilson are used to living with water restrictions.
And I'm very, very cautious about the water in my apartment. You know, I use just what I need. You know, I try to help.
He comes out to Echo Bay once a week.
This is a very nice place to come and fish.
And says where he could drop the fishing line changes each time.
We notice that sometimes we'll come up here and this water be way up here. Then sometimes it's way down there.
There is no solution in the upper basin that's going to solve the Powell and Mead problem.
Negotiations are not going well.
That's why we contacted Kyle Rorink, director of the Great Basin Water Network, a watchdog group tracking the dwindling resource.
At the turn of the 21st century, you could have launched your boat from right here where I'm standing.
Like the bathtub ring line.
We have much lighter rocks at elevations that were once underwater.
Still, our communities continue to grow despite water concerns.
And it's putting added pressure on state negotiators.
That's a problem.
Who will decide the future of the river.
And there's not enough water to solve it without great change.
They have said the talks are difficult.
All of the rhetoric, the saber rattling, and other distractions going on right now are bull. It needs to stop.
To Rorink, it's simple.
It's actually basic math, that there's not enough water in the system to use more. Entities want to use more. Entities don't want to cut. We have to cut. We have to use less.
And grew Las Vegas to the iconic city it is today.
All those casinos, they'll fly water in if they have to. They ain't gonna let this place go dry.
We've lost 2 million acre feet.
Rowering says the decisions made this year aren't just about sustaining the Southwest and the economies the river has built.
It's about whether the resource which grew desert communities can be shared responsibly.
It's what brings us all together, and it can also be what tears us apart.
Program Director Xana Stutz with the Glen Canyon Institute studies what these changing levels mean for the Glen Canyon Dam.
Right now we are at elevation 3527, so 27 feet above the level that the Bureau of Reclamation has identified as the lowest possible level that they ever want to let Glen Canyon Dam get to.
The past few months, the Bureau of Reclamation has added emergency solutions to keep above this minimum level, known as de facto dead pool, so the dam can still function. They've reduced the amount of annual water that can go through the dam through September, and begun to add water from the Flaming Gorge Reservoir through next April. With these actions, the Bureau of Reclamation projects they can keep Lake Powell at or above the 3,500-foot threshold through April of 2027. But Stutz calls this a one-year Band-Aid solution.
We can't keep doing this. And if we have the courage to take a step back and think about, okay, why was Glen Canyon Dam built? Is that still working? The answer is no.
The dam was built from 1956 to 1963. It was established by Congress and helped upper Colorado River Basin states meet the water delivery needs of lower basin states.
Since about 2000, we've seen the flows in this river diminish by an average of 20%. There is less water than was ever taken into consideration when the designers and the engineers of this dam were planning and constructing it.
Lake Mead, created by the Hoover Dam, is downstream from the Glen Canyon Dam and Lake Powell. It supplies water to major cities in the lower basin, including Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Las Vegas. But like Lake Powell, it's only about a quarter full.
I think it's worth asking the question, we have the 2 largest reservoirs in the country and we can't fill either one. What might it look like if we were to take the water that is currently stored in Lake Powell, send it downstream through the Grand Canyon, and instead store it in Lake Mead.
To let the water flow through, Stutz says they could drill tunnels around the base of the dam.
The Colorado River would be free-flowing through what is now Lake Powell. You could keep the dam in place in order to act as emergency water storage if Lake Mead were ever to hit a point where it could completely fill again.
No matter what the path forward is, many agree a decision must be made soon.
Guys, just take a look at all of these. I don't know if the camera's picking up all of this. When I first drove in here from Boulder City today, the amount of these dust devils that are kicking up from all this new dry shoreline, it's kicking up all this dirt all over the place here. And when I first got in here, it just looked like an apocalyptic mess. And also out here, you're taking a look at the amount of heat that is coming down on Lake Mead. We're looking at around 500 million gallons of water that's being evaporated just right off of the surface of the lake. And that's happening each and every day. As you can see behind me here, guys, this is all of the new infrastructure that Park Services has laid out for the extension of this boat ramp. It's one of the only boat ramps that are in service right now. And they're gonna have to extend this. There's no debate or talk about it. It's absolutely for sure. They wouldn't have gone through. Guys, just take a look at all of this dust behind me back here. I believe all this new shoreline that's coming up is creating all this extra dust to be blown around. But getting back to what I was saying here, Park Services would not have funded all of this infrastructure back here to extend this ramp if it wasn't absolutely certain that the projection models stated that we are going to have an unprecedented dry year. And you know what? If we have 3 of these in a row, I do not know what the health of this lake is going to look like. But as you can see, this is it right here. One of the biggest concerns that we have back here, if you take a look at this little island right here, right? That little island right there is like Rock Island. And look at how close the marina is. If this marina has to continue to be extended and pushed, we're trying to figure out how far off can we go before that marina ends up crashing into that Rock Island back behind it. Take a look at this stuff right here, guys. This stuff looks like some kind of dried out cabbage patch, but really it's just the new foliage that's coming up out of the ground. As the water recedes, this is all of the new foliage that is exposed from the nutrients and the algae that was inside the soil that was covered with water. Once the water recedes and the sun's able to hit it, it gives us this new stuff here, looking like some kind of dry cabbage patch. Now this right here, as we move from here to this area, you can see the transition of how it looks. It's completely different. It's completely different now. Now this right here is mossy. So we went from cabbage patch to mossy. Oh my God. Have a look at this. Now, you know what? I don't know how many of you have been watching my channel and following me, but take a look. Look at these. Look at the wake. Look at the wake barriers, man. The wake barriers were 30 yards out from the shoreline the last time that I came out here. And take a look at it right now. It is literally 20 feet, 30 feet out. This right here, that's how much. And I'm telling you right now that within the next couple of weeks, when we hit the all-time historic low, those tires should touch the shoreline. This is crazy. We're seeing the water drop out here at a rate of about 1 foot per week. That's right, we started off this year at 1,068 when I started doing this water report. And today, guys, the water level at Lake Mead is 1,042.80 feet. We are within about 2.5 feet of the historic all-time low here at Lake Mead, and they're still anticipating that it will drop an additional 10 to 15 feet by 2027. Yeah, guys, take a look at it. There's the wake barrier. This thing was out literally 50 yards further the last time that I came out here. And right now, if a person wanted to wade from that shoreline right over to those tires, they could easily do it, and it probably would not be any higher than about 3 feet of water to get out to those tires. And we lose 2 more feet of water. This entire cove here is going to go from there all the way out to that point. All right, guys, so we are behind to the side of the marina. You know, you don't have to really go very far to get evidence of the water drop. I normally just come to this cove that's to the left of the marina, right where I'm at, and right here I can automatically see the new water drop terracing. The last time we reported, Maria and I were up here where this rock is, just like a mooring block, and the water was literally right in this area. And as you can see here, you see how this thing dropped off? This is water drop off, and then the water drop off from here is another terracing area. Drop off, drop off. There's like 1, 2, 3, there's like 4 rings. It's hard to see when you're on top of it, but there's literally cutouts. This is the major cutout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drops in water to get it to where it's at right now. This right here, my friends, all new shoreline exposure from the water drop since the last time I've been out here a couple of weeks ago. Check this out. See all this? You see how it's dark? So the water was right up to this area right here, and you can see how light it's getting here, right? The moisture from the groundwater is escaping this area and it's moving its way out to this right here. And this is currently where it's at, where those ducks are. This cove extended all the way back to where that green was. So like right around March, this water was all the way back there. Look at all these tires. We were only to see one of those tires last time that we were out here, Caterpillar tires. Now you got 1 and you got 2. Both of those are exposed, moving its way out. I was telling you guys to watch out for that tire right there. It was actually in the water. And there's no more water around it right now because that much of the water has receded. Can you guys see these footprints in here in the mud? This is like tracker experience right here. I could just see how dry these footprints are. And this is less dry. And this is more wet, and this is totally soaking wet. This is clear evidence right here, just to this line, to that line. That's how much water was lost between now and the last time I did a water report out here. You're looking at about 15 feet of shoreline exposure. They say that for every 1 foot of water drop, depending on your topography, between 15 to 20 feet of shoreline exposure will surface for every 1 foot of vertical water drop that is lost here at Lake Mead. You guys see this like mollusk action right here? All of these things here are like little teeny mini clamshells. They don't grow on the surface. This stuff is all grown underwater. And you can just take a look. So this thing right here was underwater, and you move it all the way back, and that's where it's at right now. It's about a good 30, 40, 50, about 60 feet from where these crusty clams are to where the water is. And you can see all this new footprints in the dirt. And yeah, it can't even support my weight. Look, I'm crushing down into it. Yep, moisture. So this is all brand new exposed shoreline. It's really crazy. I was just over at the marina in the cove, and I was able to meet Mojo Adventures. The first time I've ever met him. We've been talking a little bit back and forth through emails, and he was in the middle of doing a live stream, which he's on right now. Check it out. Lodge, and it was just right there. I guess like the Rat Pack used to perform in there. And then they would go right out to their barge at night and continue. Yeah, it was awesome talking to him, meeting him and his wife. I wanted to like do an interview with him, but I didn't know how to do that. I mean, he's in the middle of a live stream, and how do I record us talking while he's in the middle of a live stream? I mean, I'm not that technically advanced of a YouTuber, you know, just yet. But yeah, great. If you guys haven't gone to and seen Mojo Adventures, he is a strong advocate of the lifeblood of this, you know, lake system here at Lake Mead and the Colorado River. They do a lot better job of narrating and filming the areas than I do, and the guy's got a great voice. But if you guys like the stuff that I do, the content that I make, take a look at his channel, Mojo Adventures, and yeah, give him a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. So anyways, folks, we're gonna head on out here to Boulder Beach, because we were just over at the marina, which is about maybe 2 miles down that way, and I wanted to come down here and see what the significant impact of the water loss is going to be here at Boulder Beach. So let's have a look. Alrighty guys, so behind me here is the way into Boulder Beach. What we're looking at over here behind me is going to be the first berm. Now this first berm was situated to where you would park your cars right here in this area, and directly out in front of it right here, this was going to be all of the water, right? So you'd park your car right here and all the water would be right here. Well, you guys can see already that not only have they not used this and abandoned this berm, and now that's the current berm that they're using to park your cars, and then we need to go out and see just how much further the water is over there, to where they remove all of these trash cans, open this up and extend it to where there's going to make a third berm down below it. So let's go take a look. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the second berm. Right where that truck is coming in right now is the first berm, the second parking berm, and now we're going to cross through here and go on out and see just how far this water has dropped from this location. Alrighty guys, so from right where I'm at right now to the first berm, we're about 100 yards from there. And looking over here, it looks like we've got another 100 yards to go to get to the water. So basically, 2 football fields away from the current parking area to the water. Oh yeah, guys. So here we are, right, at Boulder Beach, or I just call it Rock Beach because that's what you're going to be standing on the majority of the time. But this right here, guys, marks the brand new water, the water pullout from the last time that we were here, because you could just see all of this soft tracks of where people were trying to step and the impressions they're leaving in the dirt. This is all new moist soil right here from the water that just receded. Now take a look right out there, guys. I see a new barrel that just surfaced. The easiest way to traverse this stuff is try to stay along the rocks, because the rocks are probably as heavy as me. If they could support the rocks, they could support me. And we'll head on out here and look. This is exactly what I was telling you that we're going to be finding. As the water keeps pulling out, you're going to see more and more of this crap come up out of the water, and it could be a good or a bad thing. Like, yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys remember the very first time. This is all brand new, guys. This stuff was all underwater just a month ago. And if you take a look at it, here's a new barrel. And God forbid, who knows what's inside this thing. I'm not gonna guess. But look, there's a rope that's tied off to it. I don't know what's in there, but I can guarantee you that within a week, this right here is gonna be out here. All right, guys, so I am in a very unique spot right here. It's a pretty good venue. Right behind me over here is Boulder Beach. And then right behind me over here is the old Lake Mead marina boat harbor that I normally bring you at. If you take a look back behind me over to there, that is going to be the pumping station that I brought you out to. Right next to us here is the old Henderson pumping station that is no longer used. The low-level pumping station for Las Vegas is right over that mountain. And then right below that Henderson pumping station there, you're going to see right in that area. So there's the Henderson pumping station bridge that has now been evacuated and abandoned. But right below it, right over there, you're going to see the Las Vegas intake number 1 that has come out of the water. I don't know how many feet down below that is intake number 2, right? And you know, Vegas was already anticipating that this water drought, I could see a buoy and a tire marker over there. That's the last time me and Maria came out here, the water was in this area. And in just the time frame of a couple of weeks, from there all the way down to here, those buoys are now out of the water. And you can clearly see Pump House 1 abandoned, Vegas Pump House 1 out of the water, the old Las Vegas Pump House completely abandoned, out of the water, right in the same area. This is the pass right here where the old marina used to be in between, and look at it now, guys. Water all the way up to that white line. The marina was located back over there, and look where I'm standing right now today. Straight desert, guys. That's water loss for you. Well, guys, I believe that's everything that I can give to you for this week's Lake Mead shoreline and water report. The temperature is now hitting the triple teens. I got out here at 7:30. It's about 10:30 right now. 3 hours out here goes by pretty fast, especially when you're trying to make footage. But I don't know what gives out more, me or my cameras overheating. But anyways, guys, yeah, the temperature is starting to climb up to triple teens. We just dipped over 103. So I think it's time for me to get on out of here before I just parch out and dry up like one of these carps that are laying here on this shoreline. If you guys found any of this information out here beneficial, useful, or entertaining, please do me a kindness, like the video, subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really helps the channel grow. And I appreciate you guys tuning in and joining me out here as we take a look at what's going on here as Lake Mead creeps towards the historic low again. We're 2 feet away from that. And I'll be out here to take you on the journey and investigate the entire length of the way. So anyways, my friends, I'm gonna close this video out and get it edited and get it out to you. I'm Joey, you're watching VegasDtech. I hope you guys are doing well. I will see you on the next video. Take care.